Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and it looks like somebody with quite the eagle eye has spotted what could be the next major PlayStation PC port from Nixxes. Now, if you guys don't know, Last of Us is being done by Iron Galaxy, and Nixxes, it's kind of unknown what they are working on next. However, as user VeloxZ, I believe, noted on Reddit, a Reddit post over on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, this might be a long shot, so please take it with a grain of salt. A recent Nixxes job offer for a UI UX engineer states experience in using Coherent middleware. The mentioned middleware is a game UI made by Coherent Labs. One of their featured PlayStation exclusive games using it is in fact Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. A lot of credit to this user connecting the dots and figuring that out. It's made by Insomniac, of course, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and of course, Nixxes has ported both Spider-Man titles, those games as well, done by Insomniac. So all of the lines are coming together for this to be a Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart port, which makes all the sense in the world. Look, they just recently ported Returnal, which was one of those early PlayStation 5 exclusives as well. The thing about those early PlayStation 5 exclusives is that there was a lot of resources put behind them. You're talking your Returnals, you're talking your Ratchet & Clank Rift Aparts, you're talking your Demon's Souls. All of those games had an incredible amount of resources attached to them. Would you look at that? All of those games are also in the NVIDIA GeForce Now leak, which is seemingly the Walmart Canada of this generation. But why I offer you guys this is the fact that those early games had a ton of resources attached to them with very little return attached to them, just because all of those games were PlayStation 5 exclusives in a time where, I'm sorry, there just weren't a lot of PlayStation 5s out there. Games like a Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, games like a Returnal, games like a Demon's Souls, as big as those games were, really, Ratchet and Demon's Souls, Returnal was a level below those, but Ratchet and Demon's Souls, those were big games. Unfortunately, they did not do nearly as well as they potentially could have if they were available on other readily available platforms. That's just a reality when you're going to release an exclusive in an early portion of a console's life. You have to do it because you need to satisfy those early adopters. You need to give them something to really sink their teeth into and ultimately something to sell those consoles on. I would offer you that the PlayStation 5 really didn't need anything to sell that console on, hence why a lot of those games ultimately became cross-gen titles that I think we were expecting them to be next-gen exclusives, a la Horizon Forbidden West, a la God of War Ragnarok, because, you know what? They were already out in the market. Might as well bring those games on over to the PlayStation 4 as well and make sure they can run on there so we can maximize the sales numbers of those games. And you look at something like Horizon Forbidden West, yeah, that was a cross-gen game, and now all these years later, it's getting a next-generation only expansion add-on, so it's kind of interesting how all that's coming together. I foresee both of those games, by the way, ultimately coming to PC as well. I see this rhetoric online that, oh, Horizon and God of War were only available on PC, so it would ultimately entice players to buy a PlayStation 5 to play Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok. I don't think that's the case at all. I just think there's going to be a time gap between those games coming out on the PS5 and ultimately them coming to PC. Now let's circle back to Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Guys, this game is awesome. Is it worth $70? I could definitely understand people being like, no, it's not worth $70. I imagine if it comes out on PC, it'll get that sweet $60 price tag, much like a Returnal, much like a Last of Us Part 1. But even that price point can be argued because the game is of immense quality. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is a tremendous game. However, it is an incredibly short game. It's a game that you can 100% get the Platinum Trophy on PS5 in probably 14 hours, and that might be pushing it a little bit, but man, what is in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart? I think the platforming, the combat, the story, all of those elements are really good. I've been a long-time Ratchet & Clank fan. Ratchet & Clank is really that PlayStation 2 platforming franchise that I grew up on. You know, that and Spyro the Dragon when we're going back to the PS1. Some people it was Crash Bandicoot, some people it was Jak and Daxter. For me, Spyro on the PS1, Ratchet & Clank on the PS2. Loved all the Ratchet games, played all of them from 1 to Deadlock on PS2, from Size Matters and Secret Agent Clank on PSP, from all the future games on PlayStation 3, and then Ratchet & Clank 2016 on PS4, and then Rift Apart, and I loved Rift Apart. Thought it was a nice return to the major league, so to speak, for Ratchet & Clank after, you know, the franchise was dormant for quite a while. On the PlayStation 4 era, kind of absent outside of the 2016 title, which was more of a budget title, I guess you could say. It was a $40 release, but a Rift Apart was fantastic. But that does beg the question. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna bring it up. Hey, can we get some ports of Ratchet & Clank Future? Man, I just don't understand. Sony, you like your cash grabs. You like to make a Last of Us Part 1 and sell that. Well, why not bundle all the Ratchet Future titles, release it day and day on PlayStation 5 and PC? You can remaster these games. I know you can. You did it for Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection. Is it that hard to do it for Ratchet & Clank Future, Tools of Destruction, Crack in Time, Into the Nexus, etc., and bring them to PS5 and PC? I mean, you can bring them to PS4 as well, but those are games that people are clamoring for. Your Infamous 1s and 2s, your Killzone 2s and 3s, those are games that people really want to play through because there's no backwards compatibility to PS3 on PlayStation 5, and I don't know if that's ever going to be the case. So if that's not going to be the case, why not remaster these games and you can double release it on PC? You can get all those people to buy it, and then you can release it on PlayStation 5, get your console guys to buy it. You're going to be having a license to print a ton of money. So it just boggles my mind why they haven't done it. That PS3 era is just being forgotten, and with that, the Ratchet & Clank Future titles, which I think are some of the best Ratchet & Clank games. I know people have a lot of nostalgia towards the PS2 era Ratchet titles, but man, if you have the opportunity, if you can figure out how to play those PS3 games, those games are excellent. Tools of Destruction and Crack in Time in particular. Quest for Booty and Into the Nexus are fine, but those were smaller games. Future, Tools of Destruction, Crack in Time. And those games, I believe, don't work very well on our PCS3. Quote me if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, that aside, Rift Apart would be an excellent release. It's just Rift Apart is deeper into the Ratchet universe. Can you jump into it without playing the other games? Absolutely. It tells its own story, and you have the inclusion of these new characters in Rivet and Kit that adds such a nice layer to the story as well in the overall game. That, it's a little bit of a difference towards other Ratchet titles. I don't know how long Ratchet & Clank is for this world because it seems like Sony is very much entrusting Insomniac to do these Marvel titles. Look, I have a lot of respect for Insomniac as a studio. They're juggling Spider-Man 2 right now. They're doing Wolverine right now. I highly doubt they're doing a Ratchet & Clank game on top of those two titles, but who knows? I'm surprised by Insomniac all the time, so I would love it if Ratchet & Clank was a franchise that's here to stay. I just think Sony looks at it from a financial and a business standpoint and being like, hey, what's going to do better? A new Ratchet & Clank game or a Marvel's Wolverine title? And they're probably right that Wolverine would do better, which is unfortunate to me. It's not the greatest thing in the world for me. Just because, these Marvel games, I like them, but they don't really click with me. Like, Ratchet & Clank's a franchise that I'm obviously incredibly nostalgic with, and if Rift Apart comes to PC, oh, you bet it that I'm going to be replaying this game, absolutely. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know your guys' thoughts on a potential Rift Apart PC port. Seems like this is something that very much could happen. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.